Original post, February 21, 2024. My mom went out 2 days before Christmas and then texted me 12 hours later saying she would be gone for a weekend for me to have the kids. She hasn't come back since. So almost 9 weeks. I have heard from her 3 times total, and she is saying she isn't coming back anytime soon. She just keeps sending money. My siblings are 16, 13, 12, 9, and 7. I'm 19. I'm surviving looking after the kids by myself, and to be honest not much has changed because I did most of it when my mom was here anyway. We live with our nan, but she doesn't help with them really either, and my older siblings have long moved out. I guess my question is my mom being gone a serious issue legally and with social services? I don't want to risk the kids going into care. Been there done that when I was younger, so I haven't told anyone that she's gone. I'm scared of what will happen if people find out, so I don't want to even ask the question in real life. Update 1, February 29, 2024. I spoke to my mom on the phone and told her I want her to give me custody of the kids since she is refusing to come back or say when she will be back, and I'm done with her crap. We argued for like an hour, but in the end, she said she would do it after I told her I was going to call the police on her. Before speaking to her I spoke to a lawyer, and I should be able to get legal guardianship through a parenting order which will go through court. My 22-year-old brother said he will move home and help me under the condition that my mom doesn't move back as he refuses to be around her. His income and input will help a lot, and he seems serious about wanting to be involved with parenting and taking care of the kids, especially our little brother, as he needs a male role model badly. If we can't get custody, then my nan should be able to. Either way, my mom is very unlikely to keep custody unless she suddenly decides she cares. I would bet my life she will never care. Getting legal custody is the outcome I want, so I'm relieved it seems like a real possibility. Now I'm just trying to do a total overhaul of everything with the kids because I think they need a lot more structure, discipline, rules, and routine than they have had until now. I have realized I don't really know anything about good parenting, so I have a lot to learn. Maybe I will get some books. Until now our house has been more like a house shared with everyone doing what they want and running around feral rather than anyone really guiding the kids. I grew up even more feral, and I don't think it's a good way to be raised. So I'm starting a bath and bedtime routine for the youngest two, and a curfew for the teenagers. Because right now the 12-year-old goes off on his skateboard and will just show up again at like 10 p.m. on a school night. I've also been giving them much better food than they usually have, and it's been rough to get them to eat healthy, but we have made so much progress already. Any advice on instilling rules would be welcome, as I don't think it will be easy and I have never had any kind of actual parent role model in my life. Update 2, March 14, 2024. Thanks to advice here we have realized that getting kinship is a better choice for us financially than getting legal guardianship. This wasn't mentioned to us by the lawyer or social services, so I'm so grateful for everyone here, as we will have so much less financial stress on kinship and we will get access to a lot more services for the kids. Things are already seeming so much less scary. My brother has come home to help me and is working remotely for his same job, which is ideal. He has been amazing at making it all happen so fast and packing up his life to move back. He is still back and forth at the moment but should be here full-time besides a few days a month when he has to be there in person. Our oldest sister has said she will send some money every month to help us but doesn't want to be involved other than that. I understand why and am very grateful she is helping. Honestly, it hurts a bit that she refuses to talk about the kids or anything, but she is doing what she can handle right now, I guess. Our other sister is working FIFO right now and has suggested coming back on her weeks off to help out, but I'm not sure if that will actually happen or work well in reality. My brother doesn't get along with her very well and says he doesn't think living with her again will work. The kids are still struggling with the new rules, and we have had some issues. 16-year-old hates me, so my brother is trying to take over with her because I am bored of fighting with her. The others are doing better but still so difficult. 7-year-old won't sleep, which is the hardest thing right now because then I can't sleep and I'm tired AF. She has meltdowns when she's tired and she's always tired now, so she's always having meltdowns. I don't know what to do with her. Everything I try to make her sleep doesn't work that well. She says she doesn't know why she can't sleep, so I don't know where to even start. My brother tried to get her to bed, and she just cried and screamed for me. 12-year-old is listening to our brother, which is the best thing to ever happen because I was really worried about handling him since he listens to me never. 13 and 9-year-old are easier and not stressing me out too much. So we are kind of divide and conquer now. My brother handles 2 and I handle the other 3. I have found out I am very protective of the younger ones and find it very difficult to let my brother discipline them, so it causes less problems between us if I deal with them. Still early days and hoping consistency will fix a lot of the smaller issues. Long term we want to rent somewhere bigger as our nan's house is very cramped and making things harder. This is long and messy, sorry. Just wanted to update everyone who has asked and thank everyone again for the advice. Update 3, April 4, 2024. Back with another update for those who asked. Can't believe it's been over 3 months now. We applied for kinship and have had the provisional approval, the home inspection, and some interviews. We've got a couple more things to do and then we should be good. We got our first payment, which has been so good and really made me feel much more optimistic about everything because we will be able to actually do something other than just survive. The caseworker pretty much told me they don't want to have to find placements for this many kids, so us keeping them is their much preferred option, which is reassuring. My mom hasn't contacted me for a while. We thought she might show up on Easter because holidays are usually her time to cry about how much she misses our dad, and she usually prefers to ruin everyone's day with that. But she didn't come, thank God. Our nan is still at our auntie's because she can't stand to be around us apparently. Because me trying to feed them good food and not let a 7-year-old disappear for hours on bicycles with kids over 3 years older than her is just me thinking I'm better than my nan. A lot of people said to try to co-sleep with 7-year-olds, so I have started doing that. It's helping a bit and she actually will lay down, so that's a win, but she still cries a lot and tries to get up. She also has a death grip on me, so I have kind of accepted that I have to go to bed when she does. It's not the worst thing ever because I have been looking things up and reading online whilst I lay with her when she eventually calms down. I've ordered melatonin to try. I share a room with 16-year-old and she doesn't want 7-year-old in there, but it's kind of tough. I can't do anything about it until we can move house, which isn't going to be soon. It's not the most peaceful night with her in there because she kicks me and wakes up at random times trying to chat or crying, but we are getting some sleep. She slept in my single bed with me from 4 months old until she was like 2. I clearly knew nothing about safe sleep, but my mom had sold the crib to try to annoy my dad, so she actually had nowhere else to sleep, and I haven't told her that because I don't want to tell her mom didn't care that she didn't have a bed. But she seems to remember because she said, "We used to have sleepovers in your bed a lot, didn't we?" Also, I got 16-year-old earplugs and told her she can sleep in 7-year-old's bed in the other room if she prefers. I do my best to try to soothe 7-year-old in general. She had one of her crying breakdowns last week and said she didn't feel safe or happy. Then she said she wishes I was her real mummy. I told her I am her real mummy because I've looked after her whole life and I won't ever leave her. She seems a bit happier since then. I'm going to get a photo of us for her to have in her little purse she carries everywhere. She's pretty sentimental, so she will like that. Yesterday she asked me if me and our brother are married. Obviously I said no, and she said, "I just feel like you are my mom and dad." I hope that's a good thing, even if it is a little weird. She is definitely bonding with him too. She always wants me to carry her around, and when I say no because I'm busy, he offers to do it and she lets him now. She used to ignore him. Seeing her snuggle into his neck and actually relax is the cutest thing. Makes my heart happy because I remember wishing I had a dad who would hold me, and I'm so glad she is getting all the love. Me and my brother have had a few disagreements over discipline. He is pretty strict and usually that's a good thing because they need it. But sometimes I find it a bit much. The biggest disagreement was when he smacked 9-year-old and I lost my crap. We grew up with a lot worse and I have smacked them before, but I don't want to be doing that anymore. My brother thinks there's nothing wrong with one smack on the bum. I would just rather we don't go there. He said he won't do it again and I don't think he will. He wasn't angry when he did it, so I'm not really concerned about it, and he apologized to 9-year-old. We're still trying to figure out discipline. Our dad used an electric cord as a whip, so one smack on the bum is practically gentle parenting to us. I have read enough to know we don't want to be doing any physical disciplining though. The worst thing I've had to do is give the youngest 2 suppositories. My sister gave me money to take them to the GP because I was worried about them and couldn't find any for free and didn't want to wait for kinship. Turns out they are both malnourished, underweight and constipated. And they've missed some vaccines. For the constipation, we tried medicine, more fiber, and more water. But no bueno, so it had to be the suppositories because the doctor said it was verging on severe. I tried to explain it to them and make the whole thing easy, but it turned into quite the drama. 9-year-old was easier but still took me a while. 7-year-old was impossible and everyone got too stressed on day 1, so we left it, and she was still not complying on day 2, so my brother had to get involved and pretty much had to hold her down. Because I called the doctor, and she said either we do it or I take her in, and they do it. So we had no choice really, and I still feel horrible about it. I'm obsessed with what they're eating now because I do not want anyone going through that again. But I will say they are a lot better since. They aren't getting tummy aches and they aren't so grouchy. And it has helped 7-year-old with her sleep for sure. We are getting the other 3 to the doctor next week. We will do telehealth after, but I want them to see someone in person for the first appointment. After that, the next thing on the list is the dentist. We have looked at therapy and should be getting telehealth sessions soon. So far, all 3 teenagers have said they aren't doing therapy, but I will try to make them at least try it. 16-year-old is still difficult. She took my idea and she was going out whenever she liked. But my brother grounded her, and she has actually listened and not tried to sneak out. The other 3 are doing okay. No big issues with them, to be honest. They are adapting pretty well, I think. I try to talk to them all about everything when I can, and they all seem to understand what's going on and trust that we won't be going anywhere, and we just need them to cooperate with us so we can get through. My little brother Jay, 12, is obsessed with older bro. I used to have an issue with Jay going out every evening for hours and was so stressed about trying to keep him home and safe, but Matt being here has basically eliminated the issue. Jay just wants to be around him all the time, and Matt has somehow got this kid thinking doing homework with him is the best thing ever. Sorry this is so long. I don't know how long I will keep doing these updates, but for now, everyone is so incredibly helpful that I will carry on posting because I always need more advice. The advice and support from everyone in the comments and PM has been amazing and has actually helped change our day-to-day life for the better, so thank you so much, internet strangers. Update 4, April 14, 2024. My previous posts explain everything, but the short version is our mom left right before Christmas and I'm now looking after my 5 younger siblings. 16-year-old has been a pain in the ass the whole time. So unhelpful, permanently grumpy, arguing about everything, and winding up the younger ones just to be annoying. Basically making my life harder every chance she gets. She got her phone confiscated today because she was videoing our little sister having an emotional meltdown and laughing at her. Later on, whilst I was putting the phone away, I saw a message from our mom pop up saying some horrible stuff. My mom hasn't messaged me in weeks and 16-year-old hasn't mentioned messaging her at all, so I was like, what the heck? Took me a few attempts to get into her phone, but I got in and saw so many messages. Mostly her begging our mom to come home and our mom either ignoring her or telling her to come to the city she's in. 16-year-old sent her so many messages saying our younger siblings need her, and our mom replied saying she thinks I know how to raise them better, so she is leaving me to it since I don't want her here. Most recent one was 16-year-old asking why she doesn't care about us, and our mom basically saying she has better things to do than sit here and listen to us all tell her everything she is doing wrong all the time. I knew she was having a hard time, but reading her messages to our mom has broken me and I just want to stop her hurting so much. She basically hates me right now, so comforting her is very hard because she will not open up even a bit, and whenever I speak to her about it she acts like she doesn't care. I don't know what to do or say to her. Meanwhile, my older sister just calls me periodically to tell me she wishes she could help but she can't because of a list of reasons, including but not limited to, her not being able to face being around our youngest sister, because our parents said she was her replacement, and older sister can't get over it. Which is like, okay, but baby sister just turned 7 and big sister is almost 25, so at some point she needs to try to get past that and realize it's not the little one's fault. And big sis is struggling because she feels like I'm her kid apparently, and she wanted me to come live with her when I was younger, but I chose to stay here and let my mom get away with not parenting. But the alternative is my siblings being neglected and abused like we were. Anyway, I don't have time to be dealing with her emotional issues on top of everyone else's. And she's whining to me like, oh, I had to take time off work because I'm having a hard time mentally. Which makes me feel so great when I am working my ass off to feed 5 kids and dealing with a million behavioral issues a day and don't have time to do anything. Before everyone starts shouting therapy, yeah, it's in the works. Trying to get telehealth arranged, but it's taking forever. We can't afford anything else, so that's the best we have for now. Until then, it's good old-fashioned just get on with it and try not to mess the kids up any more than they are already. Update 4, May 20, 2024. Another update because my inbox is still flooded and I can't reply to everyone, so just going to say it all here for you guys and anyone else who wants to know. Firstly, thank you for all the nice messages and offers of help and stuff. I really do appreciate it, and sorry if I haven't replied, but I have had literally hundreds of messages and it's kind of overwhelming for me. I have read most of them and am still trying to reply to more, but it's a big job. Currently, things are going okay. Big things that have happened or are happening. My older sister, the second oldest, is coming to visit soon. The relationship between her and my older brother is kind of strained because of some stuff that happened when they were younger, and the 3 older ones all lived together for a bit after leaving home. Honestly, I think it was just having 3 damaged teenagers living together in a new place with no support. I don't have time to be the mediator though, so just told them if they can't get along then my sister will need to leave because the kids don't need any more drama and my brother needs to focus on being a parent. She's coming because she wants to, and she said she won't cause any drama, she just wants to help. We'll see how it goes anyway, but I'm low-key dreading it. The last time I saw this sister was years ago though, so I'm trying to not think she's going to be the same as she was when she was a teenager. We have started planning to move. My brother is desperate to get out of our town and not have to worry about our parents showing up. He gets a lot of anxiety about it. He doesn't like me being at home without him being here. His job will help him move over there and he has been set on it for a while now. We will be able to transfer over there even with the kids being on kinship care, which is basically the only thing I was worried about. But that's confirmed, we will be fine to do it, so now I'm on board with it. Won't be any time soon, but hopefully by the end of the year we can move. Financially we are doing pretty good. We have the kinship money, mine and my brother's wages, and my older sisters have been sending money consistently. My brother is good with money, and we are able to save some. I was able to buy the kids a small present each to cheer them up on Mother's Day. They have like barely any toys, so the little ones are psyched to have some things to play with and have been being feral outdoors way less this week. They have been playing Lego and Barbies like normal children. 7-year-old sleeps so good when I give her melatonin. I don't do it every night, but when I do it's like a mini holiday. She sometimes wakes up mad, but I can deal with that when I have actually slept. Other nights when she doesn't have it I either keep her downstairs and hope she will fall asleep on me or my brother whilst watching TV, or I go through the emotional bedtime routine of her crying and saying she doesn't want to go to bed whilst I read the same 3 stories until she chills out. She is doing better at school again now. It was pretty bad for a while, obviously because she was permanently exhausted and surviving on little air only because the kid wouldn't sleep or eat. Right now the 9 and 13 years olds are doing the telehealth therapy sessions. 7-year-old won't speak to the therapist, so she's having indirect help through me. 12-year-old hates it, so my brother is trying to learn techniques to do with him to help him. 16-year-old refuses, which I was expecting anyway. Tried to force her to do it and that didn't go well. So again I just try to give her indirect help. I had some one-to-one time with her recently and she was different in a good way. She lets her guard down when the younger kids aren't there. Like she can be vulnerable or whatever. She said thank you for looking after us to me. Haven't seen any more messages on 16-year-old's phone from our mom. She has completely stopped messaging any of us. The last thing she said to me was she doesn't know why I'm turning her kids against her. Kinda hilarious, but just proves she is deep in Delulu land. On Mother's Day 7-year-old went outside 4 times before 8 a.m. to make sure mom isn't coming down the road, and she has been crying about her dad, not sure why exactly. When I ask she just says she's worried about him. 9-year-old gets annoyed with her and tells her to stop crying because our dad is a bad person. She is also very defensive of me and my brother and tries to police all the other kids and tells them to behave and be nice to us, and don't argue, backchat, or misbehave. I think she's concerned we will get fed up and leave. I reassure her we won't and she doesn't need to tell the others off. It's kind of funny anyway, to be honest, because she is no angel herself. Their diet is a lot better. We still have issues every meal of every day, but overall it's better and they are doing well with trying to eat new things. Years of ramen and chicken nuggets have obviously been horrible for our bodies. But they all have at least one fruit or vegetable a day and have real dinners. They like pasta bake, so that's the new ramen around here. My brother cooks curry and tries to get them to eat it, but that doesn't go down so well. They like when he makes chicken and potatoes. 7-year-old likes bluey pouches of vanilla custard and would eat those for every meal if I let her. My oldest sister is still a pain in the ass and wants to talk about our trauma all the time. She just has more time to dwell than I do. I have no time to dwell. I asked her to please not message me unless it's positive or helpful. Her reply showed she really is just jealous that I am giving all my time and energy to the kids, but I really don't have it in me to look after an adult's emotional needs as well. She sees me as her kid, and she wants to see me but doesn't want to see the younger ones. Like she asked me to come visit and leave them with my brother for a few days. I'm not going to leave insecure kids who are permanently stressed that I will leave for good. Imagine how stressed they would be the whole time. She also thinks I am babying them. But I'm just treating them like children. Mostly it's just annoying that she is like this, but it's also partly upsetting because, to be honest, there is nothing I would love more than for her to meet and love 7-year-old. For me, it would be like my mom meeting my child. Because my oldest sister raised me when I was really young and 7-year-old is the only one of the kids I have fully raised since she was a tiny baby and my mom told me she didn't want her. Anyway, I am trying not to get too caught up in everything with my older sister because I have enough going on with all the kids. My grandma is still at my aunt's house and very unhelpful. But she's not bothering me much, so that's ideal. She mentioned wanting my cousin to move in here because he got kicked out by his girlfriend and has nowhere to live. But screw that for real. He's a creep and a drug addict, so no way is that happening. Over my dead body. Okay, this has taken me like 3 days to finish writing and I have probably forgotten some stuff, but really just wanted to say thanks for the support, and I'm not ignoring my messages, I just am busy and overwhelmed. Relevant comments. Comment 1. You are an inspiration. It would have been so easy, in one sense, to walk away and live your own life away from all this. That you love your siblings enough to pour so much into them even when they're being difficult or horrible to you tells us a great deal about who you are. It looks like one-on-one time, when you can afford to do it, is best with 16-year-old. It would give her an opportunity to bond a bit with you as something other than an authority figure. Is there anywhere your older sister could stay nearby when she visits? An old friend of hers or a current friend of yours? You are both apprehensive about this visit. She clearly cares about you and probably still sees you as the young person you were once she left. Some space might make it a bit easier and less likely to end in drama. There's a community out here who cares for and about you. Reach out if you need help. All the best. OP, thank you. The sister that's coming to visit isn't my oldest sister, she's not the one causing all the drama. That one won't come visit because she can't be around the kids apparently. It's the second oldest that's coming. There's not really anywhere else she can stay. We will see how it goes, but I'm going to be really blunt with her about how things need to be, and her and my brother need to forget their issues. Update 5, May 29, 2024. My sister, the second oldest here visiting, she's 23. She is here right now and has been here now for a few days. When she first got here I arranged with her to arrive in the evening after the younger kids go to bed because I thought it would be a bit much and knew she would be emotional. She was shaking when she arrived, so definitely the right call because the little kids would have been freaked out. The first evening I was like, this is not going to be good, because she was a serious wreck and wasn't sure she could stay. But then she slept on it and woke up way better and wasn't too emotional, accepted meeting the younger ones since she hasn't seen them in so many years. Since then, things have been good. Honestly, it has been better than I thought, and I feel kind of bad for dreading it so much. She is obviously different from her teenage self. She's never been really maternal or anything, and in my head that was a bad thing, but it's actually good because she's hanging out with the kids as a sister, not a third parent figure. 16-year-old is very similar in personality to her, so she has enjoyed having her here and having an adult to talk to who isn't me or Matt. 13-year-old is clingy AF recently, and having my sister here means she has clung to her instead of me all the time. 12-year-old is not impressed about having another girl in the house and says she stinks. 9-year-old wants to know why she's here and when she's leaving and if she's going to visit again. But when she isn't worrying, she is having fun getting my sister to do different hairstyles for her. And 7-year-old only has eyes for me and is totally psyched when all the others are hanging out with big sis so she can have me to herself. She did ask my sister to let her out of timeout and was best buddies with her for 10 minutes until she got over being annoyed with me. I have got some time with my sister alone, which has been nice to properly speak to her and get her opinion on some stuff and have her clear up things that happened with my dad. She definitely has a lot of issues still, but she is doing good for herself and is pretty happy, and isn't spiraling like our oldest sister. She pretty much said oldest sister has a lot of guilt issues for leaving, and was expecting me to move in with her at 16, so is struggling a lot that I didn't and doesn't get how I was able to stay when she couldn't. Pretty sad hearing it, to be honest. And I will definitely talk to my oldest sister again and try to help her, but I don't want to get sucked into being her therapist. Matt has gotten along with her fine too. They aren't besties, but they seem like they have put their issues aside and can handle being around each other, which they definitely couldn't do a couple of years back. I don't know why exactly, but seems like Matt and oldest sister had guilt issues and my other sister didn't. She has always been self-centered, but to be honest it seems like that might be a good thing for her sake. They had a lot of arguments about what they should and shouldn't be doing when they left. I think essentially middle sister was having too much fun and enjoying her life too much for the other two to handle because they didn't think she cared about the rest of us. Which she probably didn't, but that's good for her, I guess. Anyway, she is staying for the week I think, since it's going pretty well. Other things. My nan is still winding me up all the time. She whines at me daily about wanting my cousin to come live here, and she threatens to kick us out all the time, even though she told our caseworker we can live here as long as we need. Trying not to waste my energy getting pissed off at her because my patience is running thin as it is. But she is so annoying and so angry because she's offended that I told her she's a bad parent and grandparent. My mom may have found my dad. I only suspect it because she has been messaging me demanding photos of my 12-year-old brother, and chances are she just wants to show my dad that he looks like him. She only cares about her kids when she's trying to use them to make our dad love her. I told her to get lost because I'm not sending her any photos. Like, get a grip if you don't already have photos of your own child on your phone, that's a you problem. She has been a bad parent to him his entire life anyway. If dad leaves soon after you're born or whilst she's still pregnant with you, you're in her bad books for life. 22, me, 16, 12, and 7, we're all in the bad books before we could hold our own heads up. And the oldest two are in the bad books for not being quiet about him abusing them and letting it continue so my mom could live her dream of having my dad at home. Also should mention my dad has other kids. I don't know how many and I have never met them, but he has mentioned them before and I thought they may have been made up, but my sister said one of them contacted her ages ago, so they definitely exist. 7-year-old has been calling me mummy. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel bad that this little kid has to resort to calling a 20-year-old mess mummy. It has made it feel a lot more real, like dang, I really am all these kids have at this point. I know my mum would never sort herself out, but deep down I guess I felt like I'm the temporary guardian, and now I've fully realized no one is coming to take over at any point. I knew that, but I don't know if it had clicked until a few days of the teeny monster calling me mummy. I'm happy that she has someone she can call mummy though. She wouldn't have that in foster care, so that makes me feel better. It would be really sad if she had no one to call mummy at 7 years old. 9-year-old has been a bit upset about it because I think she wants to call me it as well, but it feels a bit uncomfortable for her. She keeps crying saying she wants me to be her mom too, but I'm not her mom and she doesn't know what to do. I have told her she can call me what she wants and it won't change the fact I will look after her and be there for her the same either way. I am kind of worried 7-year-old is going to start calling Matt dad because she is deep in her wanting a dad era and desperate for a dad. Talks about it a lot and asks about having a dad daily. Which triggers the other kids who hate our dad. So I don't know if it will go down well if she starts calling bro dad. And I feel like it will be weird for her to refer to us both like that when we're siblings. But I don't want to tell her she can't either. She hasn't done it yet, but I can see her edging towards it. She asked me if I was going to marry Matt so he could be the dad. And he is so good with her. I heard him singing to her the other night. So of course she's in love. With 16-year-old I have found it easier if Matt does all the tough parenting stuff and I act like I'm on her side kind of. He knows I'm not really, but she doesn't want me parenting her, so instead of trying to force it on her I'm trying to be more like just a sibling and he is the bad guy. It doesn't work out perfectly and I still get pissed off at her, but mostly only when she does something to interfere with me parenting the other 4. Like 7-year-old has her Lovies, old muslin cloths, she is very attached to, and 16-year-old confiscated one of them and wouldn't give it back, and I had to tell her you don't confiscate stuff and force her to give it back by threatening to take her phone. But other stuff I leave to Matt. He is less bothered by the psychological BS with her. He just gets annoyed when I have an attitude with him and she overhears and copies me. It's been a lot of trial and error figuring out how to deal with everyone because like 13-year-old is my shadow and does not react well to Matt disciplining her at all, but is fine if I do it. And 12-year-old is one extreme or the other. Would tell me to go away but would cry when Matt tells him off for it. He listens to me better now, but only when I grab him and make him look at me whilst I speak because he is the master of tuning me out. He cuddles me when no one else is around though, and if Matt disciplines him, he comes to me crying. 9-year-old is a perfect angel until she isn't and decides to have a 30-minute battle with us because she doesn't want to brush her teeth for no actual reason. She kind of reminds me of myself as a kid trying to keep it all together all the time, but she is safe enough to then let it all out in a meltdown. Mostly she's pretty easy because she's reasonable, but sometimes she does go full demonic and tests our patience. To everyone messaging me saying 7-year-old sounds autistic, she's not. I've discussed it with the doctor and the therapist. She's got anxiety and abandonment issues and is very stressed in general, which is why she can't let herself lose control and fall asleep. But she was not like this before my mom left at all. She used to sleep fine. All of them struggle with food because they have been eating ramen their whole lives, but it's harder to get 7-year-old to eat better. The older ones, I can explain it a bit better that they need the nutrition and they will try and eat more. But she doesn't care about nutrition. And she's crazy attached to me because she thinks I will leave, obviously. She has tabs on me constantly. But in theory that should all pass with time and reassurance. Matt has been really good at not being like our parents were with us. He walks away a lot when he gets pissed off because he doesn't want to react badly to the kids. He hasn't smacked anyone since our big argument about it, which is impressive considering how it was for us as kids. He literally has scars from my dad's beatings and my mom has broken multiple bones on a few different kids. So trying not to be physical at all when that's what you're used to is hard, but we are doing it. I'm chilling out a bit now with letting him actually parent and not intervening all the time. Like a while ago we were having a terrible night with 7-year-old and she was still screaming at about 2 a.m. Matt came to get her off me because I was about to lose it, and as he picked her up she was flipping out and accidentally headbutted him full in the face. I basically went blind and grabbed her off him so fast because if that was my dad he literally would have thrown her across the room and she'd be in hospital. But Matt just sat on the floor silently and held his nose for a while. And I was like, okay, WTF, he didn't even seem pissed off. So, a couple more situations like that, and now I'm not so crazy in protection mode and feel like I can trust him. Anyway, this is a lot longer than I planned yet again. Can't stop writing when I start even though these updates take me days. I'm glad things are settling down a little bit since the last update. Also, OP's older sister being able to be an older sister to the kids is amazing. Hopefully, her grandma chills out a bit and drops the idea of their cousin coming to live with them. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, it really does help out the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.